This is Smutty Side Up, where in every episode we deep dive into a popular or not so popular book in the romance world and all the subgenres that encompasses.
We look at everything from the tropes and characters to weird euphemisms for genitalia and tell you whether we think it's worth a read.
We're not here to kink shame or yuck anyone's yum. These are our opinions, and sometimes we even disagree with ourselves.
Content warning, this is an explicit podcast. If you're easily offended or have modest sensibilities, please listen at your own discretion. If you are my father, brother, father-in-law, brother-in-law, identify as a father to me, or have ever called me like a sister to you, please turn this off immediately.
So sit back, light a candle, and let's metaphorically crack the spine on this week's book. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Ricky. Hi, Alexis.
Hello.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I had to go inhuman and go into the office in person today.
You're all dolled up.
I know. I mean, dolled up, I put on mascara and some eyeliner.
Hey, that's more than I can say for myself.
I was going to say, it's more effort than I've put in a little while, so.
I am wearing my bakery's sweatshirt, though. So, I also did work today.
Well, I love your bakery sweatshirt. I don't know why I don't have one. I feel like I need one.
I can get you one. My work doesn't require any mascara, though, so.
Well, it turns out the only person I saw today was, like, the elevator repairman, so I probably didn't require it either. There was nobody there.
You did it for Fitzy.
And it was just me and Fitzy. All right. Are we here? Let's do this.
All right.
We are diving into the most, like, ridiculous, outlandish rom-com that we've covered, I think, so far. This is...
Okay.
There's going to be not really anything serious. There's going to be a lot of, like, comical, like, it is the Bridesmaids. If we're talking about rom-coms. It's, like, a little raunchy.
All right.
Okay, so today we are talking about A Not So Meet Cute by Meghan Quinn.
Okay.
Do you know Meghan Quinn?
Like, I've heard her name. I've never read any of her stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so she's another one of those authors that I've, like, read a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so weirdly prolific. Like Tessa Bailey, like I started digging in and there's maybe 100 titles. I have read like almost 30 of her books.
All the same style? Like all like the light humor.
All, yeah, contemporary romances in like different worlds. So she has created this whole weird like universe. So there are sports teams and characters that like appear in all the different, in the different books. So like she has a hockey series, obviously, that I really enjoy.
Shocking.
She did a college and then professional baseball series that like bridges, like you meet some of the characters in the college book and then in some of them when they're later and adults in their professional careers and they all are like interconnected. In the second book in this series, the FMC has a podcast where she talks to couples about their like meant to be story, and all the couples she interviews that like you see snippets throughout the book are different couples from different Meghan Quinn books.
Oh my god. I mean, that's genius, but like we literally just said that I can't remember what I said an hour ago. How do you remember all the characters you've like created? Do you think she has like one of those like bulletin boards on the wall that like the FBI has when they're trying to solve like serial killers?
Maybe. But, like, the completionist gremlin in me is, like, Googling their names and Meghan Quinn and figuring out what book it was and then reading that book.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
God.
You and I are so different.
I know.
I literally might as well just blindfold myself and go, this one. And, like, it's either going to be good or it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
I mean, honestly, that book, it was like a bunch of little teasers for other books. And I was like, ooh, Grumpy Scotsman, American Baker? Yes, please.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I want to read that one.
The Highland Fling.
All right, adding that to my TBR.
So good. So she writes like really funny, pretty dirty, but ultimately sweet romances. And today's offering is like no exception. This is the first in a series that follows the Kane brothers, Huxley, JP, and Breaker.
So we're just not going to talk about the names?
I was literally going to be like, just like you mentioned in your last one, weird names.
You know what's amazing about that? As soon as we finished that episode, I started reading like 2 new books. Mm-hmm. Both of them have the most normal names ever. I was like, damn it. Like, this is the first 2 books I've read that have like truly average names. Like, there is a Josh and there is, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like,
No,
damn,
it's
Alexis was right. But looks like you're not.
It's fine. I mean, obviously this one and the other one I read recently, the guy's name was Rook. So I think there is a nice...
I know which book you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. You want some like dark biker stuff? Let's go. Not super dark, but lightly dark. Gray. So these guys, they're billionaire brothers who came up middle class and took the insurance money when their dad passed away to create their real estate business, which has made them billionaires. The trope we're dealing with, obviously billionaires, fake dating and engagement, forced proximity, and enemies to lovers. So there's just a nice little smorgasbord of stuff.
Nice.
I'm going to send you, there are 2 covers, and I've seen them used like interchangeably. I wouldn't say one is the alt cover and one is the standard.
Okay.
But the first one I'm going to send you is the one that's like on Meghan Quinn's website. And then I'll send you the one that's on the paperback that I have.
Oh, cute. Okay, so it's a pink book. It's very cutesy. There's like white writing with pink accents, and then some of the words are in pink, like a hot pink. And then there's leaves, like multicolored, like not like realistic looking leaves. Like we have green and blue and peach and yellow and purple, like coming in from the sides. I know this isn't like a visual medium, but like if the screen is a rectangle and my fingers are the
they're the little fronds,
leaves.
The palm fronds.
Yeah, and then it looks like maybe there's like Cupid's bow in there and some arrows.
Yeah, there's like some subtle, like pale monochromatic art behind on the background, and it's like arrows and hearts with little arrows through them.
Oh, I don't see that. Hang on, let me zoom in. Oh, I can see what you're saying. It looks like it's like scratched into the background almost.
Exactly. And then
I did not pick that up on my screen.
This is the version that's on the book that I have.
Is this like Valentine's themed? I don't understand. Like, why is Cupid involved?
I think it's the idea of like, everyone's like meet cute story, like how they first meet, like how Cupid's arrow first strikes. I don't know. I don't really know. Okay. It's not ever discussed. I really don't know why there's so much Cupid.
Okay, well, this one is a navy blue backdrop. It says a not so meet cute in light blue. We've got 2, what are those things called? Not Cupids. There's like a word for them.
Cherubs?
The babies with the cherubs, thank you. Babies with the wings. One's on top, one's kind of at the bottom. And then there's just like a very generic hot guy, like lounging on a couch with his legs about as wide as they could go.
Man spreading all the way.
Yeah.
Like, I like that he's...
red hearts everywhere.
Yeah, I like that he's man spreading across her whole name. Like, knees to the Q and the N.
The G from Meghan is like circling his dick.
100%.
Like, I'm not wrong.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's a choice. It's a cover.
Yeah.
Neither of these are enticing to me in any way.
No, this was a recommendation, and I first did it on audiobook, and then obviously got the paperbacks. Format-wise, it's a dual perspective, first-person POV. The audiobook is really well narrated. They do a great job. What's interesting is the next one in the series was done in duet, but the first one wasn't, and I was like a little disappointed. I'd like to go back and have them read you the first one as duet.
I prefer duet for sure.
Yeah. Spice level, we're looking like a solid 3 fingers here.
I forgot about our spice
The finger system, yeah.
I gotta add that into my episodes again, sorry.
There are a lot of steamy scenes, some toys, dirty talking, but nothing like crazy or out of the ordinary. There's no threesomes, there's no, nothing insane. So it gets a solid 3 for me. Okay, so let's dig into our characters. We're going to go physical descriptions first. This is the description that we get from Huxley of Lottie. She's a small thing, petite, head barely reaches my chin. Her skin has that California glow to it that tells me she has time to hit up the beach or pool, and the definition in her arms makes me believe she has time to go to the gym as well. Probably some housewife out for a walk trying to get her steps in before the husband comes home from a late night at the office. Her green eyes, a seafoam color, so light that it's almost startling against her natural thick black lashes.
She sounds cute.
Yeah. And then Lottie's description of Huxley. I'll admit the man is extremely attractive. A tall man, he must be at least 6'2". His skin has a golden tan to it. His hair is a beautiful chestnut brown. Yes, I said beautiful. And he has those dark, penetrating eyes that seem like they could cut any human in half in the boardroom or on the streets.
Okay.
I did do a little AI generation for us. I was like, there wasn't a lot to go on there, but I felt like there was enough that we could get something.
I genuinely get nervous about these now. They're always scary.
I tried a new one today.
Oh, these aren't that scary. I mean, these are not that scary. Her eyes are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Aside from that, though. Also, she looks like she's on fire. Okay, so we're starting with Lottie. She looks like a really athletic young woman. Dark hair, the craziest green eyes I've ever seen. I think that's where AI really messed this up. She, honest to God, looks like she is a trainer that works for like Peloton. Like she's wearing a sports bra and workout like leggings for some reason. I don't think that was in the description at all.
It definitely, I don't know if it was in what I just read, but it definitely was in the description. Or like she was walking around in yoga pants.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, okay, then never mind. She looks cute. How old is she supposed to be?
28.
I'm going to go ahead and say she doesn't look 28.
No, but she doesn't
Or she looks like a very young 28.
Yeah, she doesn't look 15 like a lot of the AI women we've seen.
No, but she also doesn't look that close to 30.
No.
So.
She does to me look like
she's got really, really buff arms.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's
great arms.
She's a Pilates instructor. Like, that's all I could think.
Yeah. She looks great. Okay.
Yeah.
Best AI I've seen so far. Actually, his is the best AI.
I was going to say his is the best AI that we've seen so far.
Wow. Okay, this guy looks like a real person, which is just like the starting point. The only thing that looks fake about him is the jacket he's wearing. What service did you use for this?
I will send you the website.
Thank you. Okay.
You get 5 free generations, and then you can change the email address. So I still have 3 on mine.
Oh, okay, great.
We can put in like a couple others. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Oh my God, the bakery's going to start getting spam from like an AI generator. Okay. We've got a pretty hot guy. He's like got a good tan, brown eyes. He's got some stubble, really like sharp jaw, like a really sharp jawline. He's got beautiful hair. They weren't kidding. Holy cow. It is chestnut brown. It's a little bit on the longer side, but kind of like tousled. I don't know. What else he got? He's got a really straight nose.
All I can think is that he looks more like Huxley in my head than the guy on the cover.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. This should be the model on the cover.
Yeah.
Also, his shirt is like unbuttoned, like really low.
Really
probably unnecessarily low. I don't know why they did that either, but
because you couldn't see his forearms.
Way to go, AI.
So they had to do something. Couldn't see his forearms, so they had to give us something.
Right. You got to give me some skin here.
Exactly.
No, he's wearing a black suit jacket over a black button down, which is such a good look.
Such a good look.
Yeah. They did good.
Yeah.
He's hot.
I know, it's kind of weird. I was like, this part is usually funny, and this one I was like, it's not. They're kind of good.
It's not gonna be. Yeah, part of me is like, I shouldn't use this one because the best part is ripping apart these AI characters. But damn, that guy's sexy. They did a great job here.
All right.
The girl looks like she could be an X-Men though, like because of her eyes.
Yeah, she could be a mutant of some kind.
But other than that,
yeah. All right, so let's dig into who they are as people beyond the surface level. So Lottie's 28. She's the oldest of 2 sisters, raised by a single mom. They're low income in like a super bougie area of Los Angeles, where her sister Kelsey is driven and organized. She owns her own organization business. Like think the Home Edit, but if they were eco-friendly.
Yeah.
So it's like sustainable.
Okay, very cool.
Lottie had pursued a master's degree and then was having trouble getting a job with it. She's living at home with her mom and her stepdad, Jeff, who they all really like and treats her mom super well. About a year ago, Lottie took a job working for her super toxic friend, Angela. They'd been friends in high school, and Angela, super wealthy, would kind of like rotate best friend status. So some weeks Lottie was in, others she was out, which I think we all at some point have had that.
We've been there.
Yeah. Anyway, she starts like a Goop-style competitor that she calls Angeloop. Yeah. and hired Lottie to come on and help get the business up and running. Lottie hadn't been able to find a job with her brand new master's degree in business. And so despite, her family not thinking it was a good idea and Angela being like, listen, we're going to bring you in at a below market salary, but after a year, I'll pay you properly.
Oh, no. Okay.
So in the prologue, we see Lottie meeting with Angela, who's firing her, literally saying she doesn't want to give her a raise. So she's like brought in security, escorting her out.
My God.
Yeah. And it's horrible, obviously, and mainly because she promised her mom and Jeff that she was moving out when she got the raise. They've all lived together since Jeff married their mom. So mom and Jeff have never got to live alone together. And they desperately wanted to be able to walk around naked.
Okay.
Yeah. So she doesn't want to tell them. She doesn't want to tell them also because they obviously told her, Angela's bad news, don't do this. And she's not ready for an I told you so. Mm-hmm. She's super close with her sister Kelsey. They even talk about her moving into Kelsey's place, but sharing a super tiny studio in West Hollywood is going to be tough on even the best relationship. Then we have Huxley. At 35, he's the oldest of 3 brothers and is the most serious. He's pursuing a deal with a guy named Dave Toney. And I can't get into the double first names. So we're just going to...
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
His brothers don't think it'll happen because Dave wants to work with people he can relate to. And Huxley doesn't really do personal connections. He's not a relatable person. I don't really understand the timeline. They started this business when they inherited money when their dad passed away and have grown it to be such a success. They're now widely publicly known billionaires whose dating lives get covered by Page Six. So realistically, if they started it when he was 20, it's a really fast progression.
It's a book.
Yeah.
We need to remember.
I know. I just need to say out loud. I was like... They didn't wake up with privilege or grow up with privilege, but somehow they are this massively successful in their early to mid 30s.
That literally always happens.
In books.
Where you're just in books. It's they start the book and it's kind of in the past. It's oh, he's a teenager. He's a bad, rebel of a teenager, whatever. And then it's the first chapter, you're fast forwarding 10 years and he's literally the reason the town survives.
Yeah. Oh my God, the number of times it's he's 16 and about to age out of foster care, and now he's a 28-year-old billionaire, and I'm like...
Yeah. Yeah. And it's you end up finding out how this happened. It's almost never realistic, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's never realistic.
Yeah, this one we never learn. It's just... They got this inheritance, they built their business, they're good, honorable, respectable human beings.
Okay, so hang on.
Dave Toney.
I already forgot his first
Dave.
name. Dave? Okay. Dave Toney doesn't like to work with people he can't relate to.
Yeah.
He can't relate to any of the 3 brothers?
So they all have different strengths. Huxley does the getting new business, from what I understand. JP,
that's what it's officially called. Yeah.
JP,
he does the getting new business.
Yeah. So it's a real estate development company. So one of them runs the finances.
The acquisition.
Yeah. One of them runs the finances. One of them runs the day-to-day management of everything, and then one of them is acquisitions, new business. And I don't.
You're gonna be in charge of our getting new business.
Yes, understood. Lead follower. That's me. The first time I ever heard that term, I was like, "Oh, you're the best one. You're the best follower." Someone was like, no, sales leads. And I was like, we work in very different industries.
That's one of those tell me you've never worked in sales without telling me you've never worked in sales. Mm-hmm. That was great. Yeah. I fucking hate the term lead. If I never hear it again, it'll be too soon.
Oh, I know. It's good times, man. So we start this first chapter. Huxley, after his brothers are like, you're never going to make this deal, bumps in to Dave and Dave's pregnant fiance when they're at the deli grabbing lunch. Seeing how Dave dotes on her, he's like, this is an opportunity. And he tells them he has his own pregnant fiance. That is so dumb. I know. Yeah, he on the spot makes up a story about how they met in Georgia, which is where Dave's fiance is from.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're gonna get caught.
I know. So immediately Dave's like interested. He's seeing a new side of him. And Ellie, the fiance, who's kind of new to town, would love to have them for dinner. Make some new friends.
Wait, does his fiance now have to have an accent?
We're going to get there.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
It could have been a thing. So Lottie, trying to find her way out of her predicament, no job, $30,000 in student loans, and no real way to get out of her mom's house, is, without feeling like she's let everyone down, gets day drunk on margaritas with her sister as they work on a solve. They consider the obvious, stripping,
Duh.
but Kelsey points out that they don't want someone to sway to Taylor Swift, Lottie. Do you even know how to gyrate? The other problem, though less pressing than the needing money, is that Lottie's high school reunion is imminent, and she really needs to not show up as the single, unemployed girl who lives with her mom, especially when her former boss is organizing the reunion and currently dating Lottie's ex.
Angie?
Yep. Angela.
Was that her name?
Angela.
Oh, Angela.
You got
Angie.
it. Yeah.
Her and I are besties.
Oh, wait. She's also kind...
Wait, she sucks.
Yeah, she's also kind enough to text Lottie, asking if she wants to help organize the reunion since she now has time on her hands.
What?
Yeah, no, this woman is...
What?
This woman is the devil.
What? Like...
Yep.
Fuck you, Angie.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore.
No. Fuck all the way
What
off.
a bitch. Oh my God.
I literally wrote here, fuck Mean Girls in all caps.
So now Lottie can't even... I was about to be like, just tell her to lie. Like, go to this fucking reunion and lie. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But fucking Angie knows.
Yeah.
Are they still friends?
No. But Angela seems to think they are. She's like texting as if everything's fine. Like literally, well, now that I know you have some time on your hands, why don't you help me organize the reunion? Like, oblivious.
Oh my God, I would literally show up with a t-shirt that just says fuck you, Angela on it. I might even bring extras for other people.
See, and this is why,
wow.
Once again, we can't be the leads in these books because you would not be worrying about bringing a fake boyfriend.
No, I'd show up with like my fucking middle fingers blazing.
Yeah.
But also, I really do want someone to write a book where I am the lead.
You heard it here first, guys.
Not that that's shocking to anyone, obviously, but like, or at least anyone that knows me.
Yeah.
But if anybody's looking for like, inspiration for a female main character, I am happy to sit down for some interviews.
Amazing. Okay. Kelsey and Lottie go on a walk to clear their heads. Since their house is right on the edge of the flats in Beverly Hills, Kelsey makes a joke that you never know who you're going to run into. And slightly tipsy Lottie's like, that's it. I'm going to snag myself a rich husband. And then she Googles it, as you do, and finds lots of tips, including that rich people love braids.
What?
Yeah, it's the most random thing. She's like, she looks it up and they're like, yeah, apparently rich people love braids. She's like, is that a thing?
Like a braid in your hair?
Yeah.
Like one? Or two?
One?
Or like cornrows? Okay.
So they laugh at...
Really not specific enough, I don't think.
No. Kelsey laughs it off, but the next day, Lottie is back, walking the flats.
With a braid?
With a braid in yoga pants. And literally runs into Huxley, who is escaping his brothers, who are needling him about the mess he's gotten himself into.
And he's got a kink for braids.
Yeah, so she admits that she's lost and her phone battery is dead. She vents to him that she needs to get back before her overprotective mother calls the cops. Not because she's a child, just a 28-year-old loser looking for a rich husband. But don't worry, I'm not a gold digger. I just need to bring someone to my high school reunion to exact revenge on the thunder cunt that is my former bestie.
I love this. This is great.
So Huxley does the logical thing. He invites her to go eat with him. And her response is my favorite. She's like, okay, what kind of creep are you? And she's like,
okay.
I told you I'm looking for a rich boyfriend. You should be running away. You should be calling the cops to escort me out of here and back to my mom's modest bungalow. There's no way in hell you should be asking me to grab something to eat. So what's your game, man?
Good. I like her.
Yeah.
If she's in the market for a new best friend.
Sign you up. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
She's spunky, outspoken, unlike any girl that he's ever met. She seems to have the kind of tenacity that would bring a man to his knees. And she's also a qualified candidate for what he's looking for. And he's 3 days away from this dinner. So he's going to roll the dice.
Oh my God.
They chat, and she calls him one of those power dudes. She's like, you read self-help, you're brutal in the bedroom. And he doesn't disagree, but he says he takes longer to get through self-help books when a new season of The Challenge is on. So they bond over that reality show. Is that a show you know, The Challenge?
Yeah, I do. I used to watch The Challenge. It was great.
It's still on. 40 seasons.
Hey, that's crazy. That and Survivor, I mean,
yeah,
the two of them are just going to go on forever.
It's been on since 1998.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
I know.
I have vivid memories of watching The Challenge, like, illegally on my computer. Like, I would, like, make it really small on my laptop while I was doing homework. And not really paying attention to either. But there's one episode where, like, one of the girls they all have to do this challenge where they swing over the water and try to, like, land on this other thing. Mm-hmm. And this girl who has implants, it was her turn to go, and she, like, landed, like, smacked into the water, and one of her implants busted. And I didn't even know that was possible at the time. Oh. And I still, like, to this day, I'm like, whenever I see someone with fake boobs, I'm like, oh my God.
Don't dive. Don't.
Careful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was, like, screaming, and everyone's like, get up, let's go. Like, they had no idea what was going on. And she was like, it was an emergency.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a
crazy
burst thing in her chest.
A foreign object in your body exploded.
Okay. They do the get to know you thing. She tells him about getting fired, and Angela, who she refers to as Satan's daughter, which not quite as good as Thundercunt, but I'll take it. Mm-hmm. They do the relationship status chat. She calls him out. Obviously, he's too much of a workaholic to keep a girlfriend. He's like, I just haven't found the right girl, and she's super skeptical. She's super skeptical that he would start coming.
Skeptical.
You're making me keep it in, aren't you?
Yes, I
am. That she's skeptical that he would start coming home early. And he's like, if I found the right woman, I'd be far more interested in fucking her against every surface of my house rather than answering monotonous emails or buying a business partner a drink. So he has some serious, like, alpha male energy.
I was going to say, these are just bold conversations.
Yeah. She takes that info. Huxley then comes clean about what he calls his massive fuck up and tells her about the needing a fake fiance for dinner on Saturday and through the deal being finalized. She asks if he needs her to be the Julia Roberts to his Richard Gere, and strike one against him, he's never seen Pretty Woman.
Oh my God, what?
I know.
That's an abomination, but also sidebar for a second.
Yeah.
Would you say yes or no?
I would say yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think he'd have to ask. I think he'd be like, sorry, wait, do you need a fake fiance?
Yeah. I'd be like,
where's the dinner?
Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's see what happens.
What kind of food are we talking about here? Do they have gluten-free? Like,
He does assure her that she doesn't need to move in with him, so no luck getting out of her mom's house.
Darn.
But it would be a business transaction. So what would she need from him other than attending the reunion? Lottie starts to come to her senses. She's like, I need a job and a life plan, not a fucking fake date. He offers to help her get a job, and she's like, I don't want a charity career. She gets up. I know this is going to sound prideful, but I'm not sure I should be taking handouts right now. I need to figure out what I'm doing with my life. But I'm not too proud to take free food. She scoops up the chips and snags them from the table. Thank you for these, and thank you for your time. Good day, sir.
So now she's not going to be his date?
So she's left. She's like, no, I can't do this. I gotta, like, be a real person. Also, I forgot to mention it, and I don't know how, because it's going to come up a lot, because they reference it a lot. They went to Chipotle. That's where they went to have food.
You know, that's like a weird choice. Just in general. But also, Eli and I were talking about Chipotle today. Also super weird. We never go there.
No, but as I was reading this, I was like, did I not say that's where they? Because she grabs the chips that are on the table.
Yeah, the tortilla chips.
Yeah, and I was like, I know I wrote Chipotle a lot because it comes up because she keeps like referencing the guy she met at Chipotle.
Every time you say Chipotle, though, I want to say Chipotle because I'm not going to say who. Someone in my life has a habit of mispronunciation just all the time. Another person in my life and I like to message each other when this happens.
Oh my God.
And keep tabs on it. It is really funny. And one of the first ones that we wrote down was Chipotle.
I feel like I saw a comedian be like, why is it Aristotle and Chipotle, not Aristotle?
Oh. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, 0.1 for the person who does the mispronunciations, but
I don't know if
still a really fun game.
Yeah, if they were actually referencing Aristotle, then they get a pass, but if they weren't.
I mean, yeah, they weren't. But me and the other person also want to make a children's book with just the mispronunciation. Like an A is for whatever, B is for whatever, and just only this person's words that they can't pronounce.
I love that a lot. I would read that book. Okay, so the next day, after staying out of the house pretending to work, Lottie comes home, and there's a giant bouquet of roses with a note, "Please reconsider, H." At work, Dave calls to see if his fiancée has any allergies they should be aware of for dinner, and Huxley just doubles down. He's like, "Dave, we should give in to our fiancé's mutual cravings for Chipotle and just order that for dinner," and then gives him Lottie's order and her name.
Wait. Hang on. Fancy business partner.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Like, okay. Instead of, don't hire a private chef, don't bring stuff in, like, these pregnant girls, they just want what they want. Like, let's just get them Chipotle. Because it's literally the only thing he's ever seen her eat. So it's the only thing he could answer truthfully.
So he knows what to order for.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's locked in. He's given Dave Lottie's name. And that's not like a common name. And so he needs to get her on board. He shows up at her mom's house with chocolates. Lottie's like, "What the fuck, stalker?" And he's like, "Do you remember when your phone was dead and you were lost and you used my phone to find your way home? Like, your address was in my Google addresses."
Fine. I was concerned. I am not anymore.
Yeah. And then he introduces himself to her mother as her boyfriend of 3 months.
Oh my god, this guy.
Yeah.
I'm so embarrassed.
He's like,
"What?
We were keeping it quiet since my job is high profile." He tells her he knows that she doesn't want her mom to know she doesn't have a job. And he's he's using his leverage where he can. They sit down for Sundays. Her mom outs her living situation, asking if this is why she'd been so evasive about moving. Like, is Lottie considering moving in with her boyfriend? They go to her room, and he pushes her, like, "What do you really want?" In a perfect world, she's like, "I want to help my sister grow her business, and if I could afford to be working for her already, I would, but she can't pay me." And he's like, "I can do that. Like, I can also bring you in for a meeting with my brothers. They could use the services at the office, introduce them to new businesses." She tries to object, saying it's charity, and he's like, "This is business. Like, taking advantage of connections is how you get ahead." Like,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, don't fight on this. So she's coming around, but she doesn't want to live with him. She's going to move in with Kelsey. And then he drops also, if you could pretend to be pregnant, that'd be great.
How far along are we talking?
I mean, we get to it in a bit, but I think she starts by saying she's like 6 or 8 weeks.
Hang on. She's 6 or 8 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
Which is like...
I know, not far enough to even be telling people, let alone random strangers.
Most people are not telling anyone. Some people tell their family.
Yeah.
We're telling a business partner?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do this one really nice thing. Early in his introspection about the lie, and then later when Lottie's playing along, both of them acknowledge it's a really shitty thing to lie about, considering how many people struggle.
It's a horrible thing to lie about.
With pregnancy, fertility, and having a family. It's not harped on, but I do appreciate that they acknowledge it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, it's going to lead to a lot of fun. So it was, necessary for the book. But I do like they're at least acknowledging that's a shitty thing.
That's good, yeah.
So she's appalled. She's like, "You are so fucking deep in it." And he goes, "What would your life look like in a perfect world?" She's like, "I'd be working with my sister out of my mom's house. Could stick it to Angela, my student loans would be paid off, and every time it rains, I'd have a place where I can lie there without judgment." Like, lie in the rain without judgment. And he's like, "Done." She's got her back up. "You can't do that. Like, I'm not a hooker." He's like, "I never asked you to fuck me." But $30K is chump change to him, and less than he would pay to get himself out of a jam at work. This is business. Okay. She agrees. And before he leaves, he tells her he needs her clothing and shoe sizes, her sister's address, because as hot as she is in the leggings and t-shirt, people will expect his fiancée to be dressed more expensively, and obviously a ring size. So
right.
So she's like, "Fine, but I'm going to need your dick size." She's like, "I need to know if I'm playing the part of a happy fiancé or like a satisfied fiancé."
Okay.
And he just responds, "Trust me, you're satisfied." Dropping that big dick energy.
Okay.
So they move forward.
Do you think anybody's ever written a romance novel where the male main character didn't have a big dick?
No, but I would love to see that, where like they
Like,
get
wouldn't that
past
be
his like
interesting?
very
Yeah.
small penis.
Even if it's not very small, but like maybe below average, like
Maybe.
even just below average, but like knows how to use it situation.
Maybe. I think it would be great. Like, I always find it interesting
All
because,
right, I'm gonna put it in my book.
yeah, yeah. Dudes with big dicks and confidence and are like happy to use a toy to like help them out. And I was like, they're
dudes
not
with small dicks.
No, in these books, it's always dudes with like big
in those
dick.
ones. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
huge dick, yeah.
But it's never.
Yeah.
It should be a guy who's like, I need the help. Like, I need the assist. I'm gonna get it done.
And I'm fine with it. I know what to do.
Yeah.
Trust me. But it's always like these guys have like 11-inch dicks.
I know.
And these girls are like amazing. I don't think that would be my reaction.
No.
I really don't think 11-inch. Like, no.
There's a
No.
woman on TikTok that I saw, and she's got a measuring tape, and she holds it out. She's like, 3 inches, fine. 4 inches, totally passable. 5, 6, great. 7, bordering on too much. And then she pulls it out to like 11. She's like, no, absolutely not.
So
Get the fuck away from me.
It's a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Like, and these girls are like, none of them bat an eye. Like, every once in a while they'll be like, oh, I don't know if that'll fit. But like, they're going to make it fit. Like,
Yeah.
there's nobody that's like, yeah, I'm not putting an entire foot.
No, this.
Not like a foot. Like
This
a foot,
right
like in
here is
measurement.
not 12 inches. Just.
Yeah, that's crazy. I also just want to, I really want to make that clear though. I wasn't talking about somebody's foot. I was talking about like a ruler.
Yes.
Like,
I
know you got it, but I was like, what if somebody like is like, what the hell is she talking about?
No, it's a new kink. We're introducing it
I
now.
haven't gotten to that one yet, actually.
Yeah,
That has
you
not
heard of
come up in my
fisting.
reading.
Wait for footing.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know from footing.
Oh. Okay, so they move forward. He has her sign a contract and an NDA. She gets an exception to be able to tell Kelsey the truth. So then Kelsey has to sign an NDA. And let's be clear, she signs the contract. She doesn't like dig into it too deeply, which she's going to start regretting very soon. They tell her parents she's moving in with Huxley, but she and Kelsey move her stuff to Kelsey's tiny studio apartment.
Okay.
And Huxley shows up, takes in the cushions on the floor that are going to be her bed, and is like, absolutely not. You're moving in with me. I have 7 bedrooms. And Kelsey's weirdly like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Wait, remember when you slept on the cushions on the floor in my house? Was that not a suitable bed? No. Okay.
They were more, this is literally like individual cushions laid together.
Fine. That is worse.
Yeah.
I did better.
You did.
Okay. So wait, does Kelsey want to move into Huxley's house?
I mean, I think she might, but at this point, she's just like, she's being really supportive, and I can't genuinely tell if she's just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, or she's just looking around her tiny apartment being like, I can't
like,
handle
get the
this.
fuck out of here. There's already too many people in here.
Yeah. And then he demands that she try on the outfits, and she's like, could you use a nicer tone? Oh, sorry. When he first demands, she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, did you not read the contract? Like, I have approval on all your outfits.
Oh, God. Oh, I don't like that.
And then she's like, well, could you at least use a nicer tone? And he's like, this is business. I'm not trying to win you or woo you. I'm your boss in this moment, and therefore you should respect my commands. And Kelsey fans her face and asks if Lottie should call him daddy after that domineering little speech.
Okay.
Yeah. It turns out everything he gets her is like super amazing, flattering. But his response when she asks if he likes it is like, it'll do. And she's getting that immediate babe energy, like the movie. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh no. That's not what you want.
No. So they're really like rubbing each other the wrong way. He tells her to take this seriously, and she fires back that she is. She's terrified about the dinner, thinking that she's going to fuck it up somehow without even knowing it. Their tense silence is broken by the sound of Kelsey chewing. She's literally gotten a snack and is enjoying the show and offers them some Chelmy. Which I feel like if either of us were in the situation, the other one would be Kelsey. Like...
Yeah, I also changed my mind. If Kelsey is looking for a best friend.
Yeah, no, I am with you.
Pulling up a chair and snacks to anything is my move.
Yeah. No.
Anything. A fight I'm not in, even better.
Oh my God. Yeah, the days where I just
need somewhere to put my butt and just something
like,
to snack on.
Yeah, give me some popcorn, please. Let's just see this. Let's see what happens. All right.
Oh, that's really funny. Okay.
So
are they gonna like rehearse how they know each other? Like, is that gonna? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Literally, the next sentence I have is they decide to get their story straight. He tells Lottie they met in Georgia when he was visiting his grandmother. Lottie, who's never traveled farther than Nevada, they're in California, obviously, is skeptical.
Okay.
He gives her the engagement ring he's picked up, which a family of 5 could go skating on.
What's the cut? Do we have details on this?
Oh, I think there were, and I didn't really note on them.
Alexis.
I know. Basically, it's just very ostentatious, like very big billionaire ring.
Fine. I'm going to assume that it was an emerald cut.
Okay. Go for it.
Well, if you say like it's an ice rink, then it's probably like a big rectangle.
Yeah. He's a super bossy gentleman. Like, he scolds her to stay in the car, but so he can get out and open the door for her, and then demands that she holds his hand. And then inside the dinner, they play the part. Despite some comments to each other under their breath, Dave and Ellie are totally taken with them. They bicker when they're alone, and Lottie doesn't understand where the guy from Chipotle has gone. Like, this dude is a dead fish in a suit. He should lighten up, be more personable. He thinks she should leave business to him, and she's super unpleasant to be around. And she reminds him that she's the life of this party and would absolutely rather be fucking anywhere other than talking about babies, weddings, and linens.
Touche.
He's like, what would you like to talk about? And she's like, I don't know, my newest dildo. It's got a suction cup base so I can use it in the shower.
Okay.
On the way home, Huxley's pissy because he didn't get any alone time with Dave. Like, there was no business being done.
Did he think there was going to be?
I think he thought so, yeah.
They were eating Chipotle with their quote-unquote pregnant fiancés.
It's true.
Like, what?
But he does realize that Dave's more receptive now, and he's going to have to keep this up. Lottie's kind of needling him, and he snaps at her. She threatens to go back and show Dave and Ellie a negative pregnancy test. And his only response is, you're under contract. Like, you can't.
That's fair.
They get to the house, which is much more chic and modern, and not at all what Lottie was expecting. She doesn't.
What was she expecting?
I think one of those, like, ostentatious, like, Italian villa style things in California.
Oh, okay. Fine.
And Huxley is really kind to his staff, and it pisses her off. She's like, why do they get treated like human beings? Mm-hmm. And then Huxley drops another little bomb. While his staff is under NDA, there's just too many of them to not worry about something leaking, so they need to keep up pretenses here. The fake engagement. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she's appalled. She's like, does this mean we have to, like, share a room? But no, Huxley thought of that.
Like, yes.
No, he's told the staff they're waiting till marriage.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah. So she's staying in her own room, but as they get in there, she finds that his staff has unpacked her things, including her collection of dildos, which they have arranged on the dresser. And she's like, won't they be, like, appalled? And he's like, it's not new to them. They know I use toys.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Why were they arranged on the dresser?
I don't know.
They couldn't put them in a drawer? Like,
You'd
what?
think.
They thought they were like...
Nightstand. She makes a joke about, him bringing other women around, and he's like, let's get one thing straight. I don't have a wandering eye, never have, never will, and I signed a contract with you. That means I belong to you and you belong to me until our obligations are fulfilled within our agreement. Do you understand? I'll be loyal to you, and I demand the same respect.
How long's the agreement?
Until the deal is done.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, he's mercurial and treating her a bit like the beast treated Belle, but this alpha thing is super hot. And so she goes over to the dresser to decide what she's going to use. He's still in the room. And when he asks what she's doing, she's happy to tell him.
Okay. I'm going to read this book. Like, we don't need to get get to the ending. Oh, that's great.
He gets huffy.
It's really funny.
Yeah, he gets huffy, storms out. It's like breakfast is at 7:30.
Wait, why is he mad about that?
That's
so
don't
flattering. That is like the ultimate compliment.
You're like, you're kind of a dick, but that was hot, so I'm gonna have to deal with this.
So, like, which one of these is most like you?
Oh my god, if she'd asked him to, like, pick the one that was most comparable.
Tell me when to stop.
Oh my god.
Okay. I have actual tears. This is really jokes.
So he's like, breakfast at 7:30 tomorrow, even though it's Sunday, because they have things to discuss.
Okay.
They have one more little fight before bed, because when she goes into the closet, she realizes, though it's filled with beautiful clothes and shoes, like Louboutin, plural, he hasn't brought any of her clothes. So, like, the only option she has for sleeping are some, like, slinky little negligees and two-piece pajamas. So she stomps.
I'm kind of surprised she wears pajamas.
Yeah. Well, she was, like, you know, ratty t-shirt, leggings, like, she's not a... Yeah.
Okay, fine. She stomps into his room.
She stomps over to his room and gets our first view of shirtless Huxley. Because while he's an asshole, he's an extremely hot asshole.
I disagree with that statement because we got a glimpse of shirtless Huxley via AI.
That's true.
It's hot.
It's true. And he casually tells her that nothing she owned was suitable. And
nothing.
Yeah. And now
suitable for bed?
I guess. Suitable just to be his fiance?
Oy, Huxley.
So she's pissed. She's like, I might be contractually obligated to be here, but I'm going to make his life a fucking horror movie.
Here we go.
Yeah. So the next day, after he begrudgingly admits to his brothers that Lottie did a good job last night, which he hasn't said to her, he complains that she's an absolute pill, which is such an old-timey phrase.
I love it, though.
Yeah.
I love calling someone a pill.
And then JP and Breaker call him out. They're like, you're going to end up fucking her. We are certain of it. At breakfast, he confirms he's paid off her loans. And he's surprised by how different she is around him than when she was around Dave and Ellie or even her staff. She drops all pretenses and is unapologetically herself. She drinks his coffee, shovels food in her face. And he's even more surprised that he doesn't dislike it. Like that she's just like super honest in herself. He tries to bring up helping Kelsey's business and she's hesitant to take it. He makes a shot at her about not getting paid. And so she gets pissed off and leaves. The next day, she sneaks out early, heads to Kelsey's house, but when she gets there, Huxley's already there. He gives her the key to the new Tesla Model 3 he got her, and tells her to have a nice day.
Hang on.
She snuck out of the house, got an Uber, went to her sister's house to find Huxley there waiting with her brand new Tesla.
So he just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. He knew she was going to try and sneak out.
Sneak out? Is she not allowed to leave? I'm confused.
I think she just didn't want to have an interaction with him. Like, she snuck out without, like, seeing him.
Fine.
Like, he makes a joke about how he just came because she didn't say goodbye.
Oh, God. Love it. Okay.
Yeah. She rants to Kelsey, and Kelsey's like, I mean, he's doing a lot of nice things for you. He just paid off all of your debt. He bought you a car. Like, maybe we should cut him a little slack. They work on the business, and then later they head to a meeting. And it isn't till they're in the lobby and waiting, when Huxley and two other men step in, that Lottie realizes they're at Huxley's company for this meeting. Apparently, that was the other reason he came by this morning, was to set up the pitch about making their offices more sustainable. She doesn't trust his motives, but she doesn't want to disappoint Kelsey. She's also, like, mad no one gave her a heads up. We're going to get into this, but, like, why the fuck didn't you ask who you were meeting with?
Yeah, that's weird. So this meeting wasn't set up prior to all of this?
No.
It wasn't like a coincidence that they were there?
No.
Kelsey and Huxley made this plan?
Yeah, he came over and was like, I would like you to come pitch our business.
And she was like, yes, we'll be there this afternoon.
Because he's a billionaire real estate developer.
No. Yeah. I'm not judging the business decision. I would do the same thing. But not telling your sister who works for you and who is contractually obligated to be this guy's pregnant fiance? That's weird.
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
There was a lot of weird happening in that sentence, but yeah.
So she isn't sure what the protocol is. Like, she knows they're supposed to...
which side of the table does she sit on?
Well, but, like, even just there, like, there's other people in the room now. And at home, they're supposed to pretend. So she's like... She does a terrible job of, like, putting on an act to greet him. To which his brother JP is like, Jesus, I hope that's not what she did in front of Dave.
Well, yeah, but, like, she's right. Is she supposed to pretend to be his fiance, or is she not?
Yeah. And she's still...
This is his fault.
Yeah, she's still trying to suss out what's happening, and she's pushing him, asking if these fine gentlemen know their exciting news. And Kelsey's, like, mortified. She's just like, let's get to the fucking presentation. Lottie ignores her, keeps pushing. She and Huxley take a moment privately. They argue. She calls him a cockhole, like a cocky asshole. But, like, a cockhole is a thing.
That comes across as.
Yeah. Like, when she has to explain it.
Urethra. What do you mean? That's the cockhole, right? I had to dig into my high school bio for that one.
I am only calling people urethra from now on. That's amazing.
It works for both males and females.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you're a piss too, but basically.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But like with the proper terminology.
Yeah. He's pretty brutal back to her, but he's not wrong. He's like, who goes to a meeting and doesn't ask who they're meeting with and does some research?
No, he's not wrong. I mean, unless she's not leading, like, this isn't her passion, and, like...
Yeah, but this is what she wants. She wants to help her sister develop her business, and... Yeah, she is the business major.
Right.
Like, this is...
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you keep calling me an asshole, but so far I've made sure you have safe transportation. I sent your mom and Jeff flowers to congratulate them on having an empty house, and I got your sister an important opportunity for her business.
Okay, and those are all really great things.
Yeah.
You're still an asshole.
Yes, 100%. And then he's pulled away for, like, an important phone call, and now he doesn't have time for the meeting. And Lottie's like, oh, I fucked this up for my sister. She tries to go to bat, pleading with him. She's like, Kelsey's worked really hard. And he's like, I guess you should have thought of that. Okay. And Kelsey is pissed. She's like, I get you're in a weird place, but why are you antagonizing someone who literally did what you spent years at school learning how to do, built a successful, thriving business? Like, give him some respect. Like, I know you. Mm-hmm. I know how you're responding to him. Like, you're not giving him any respect, so why would he give you any? Okay. At the office, Huxley's brothers are like, are you trying to make her hate you? Like, is this your goal?
I love that both siblings on both sides are, like, chastising the other one.
But then they find out...
This is your fault.
Yeah, then they find out he had good reason for canceling the meeting. There was a big emergency at one of their New York buildings, like an electrical fire. People evacuated. Some of their employees were, like, severely injured.
Oh, shit.
And he's working on making sure everyone was okay, had what they needed. Like, getting dinners delivered to the families of the guys in the hospital. Like, it's very much just like, do you know the term save the cat?
Like, if there's a fire, run in and save the cat? Or is that, like, something specific?
No, so it's like an old screenwriting term where you have a, like, character that maybe isn't the nicest person, like, you know, like, kind of an anti-hero.
Okay.
And towards the beginning of the movie, they'll have him do something to prove to the audience that he's a nice guy. Like, he's grumpy and mean and an asshole, but he scoops the cat up
knows that he's the nice guy, but the people in the movie don't necessarily know. Okay.
Exactly.
Fine.
So it's the save the cat moment. So here, he's like, he's not just a dick who canceled the meeting.
They never are.
He did have a reason.
I guess they are sometimes. But a lot of the times, they are the nice guy that's actually an asshole. Like an asshole that's actually the nice guy, I guess. So I'm going to use that term a lot.
Okay. And they're like, we get that. We still think you should be nicer to her. And Hux is like, I don't know why. This is a means to an end. She's a loose cannon. I don't need this in my life. And they're just like, no, this is exactly what you need in your life.
Also, you invited this into your life.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry for you.
Yeah. He's like, he knows that they're right, or they could be right. It's why he needs to keep his distance. He saw it at Chipotle. She's different. And if he lets himself go, he'd be all in and get wrecked in the end. So he's got to keep it, like, be stoic. He texts her to join him for dinner, and she comes down on a robe because she was in the bath when he texted. She looks sad. All of her normal bravado's been stripped away, and his guilt about his part in that comes up. He tries to tell her it was an important call, and she's like, I'm sure, and I'm sure it's none of my business. Then she decides she's not hungry and goes to leave. He follows her and pins her to the wall, trying to get her to talk to him to bring back that fire. He tells her that the hatred she has for him isn't mutual. He's been annoyed by her, frustrated, but he doesn't hate her. His hands are on her, and he asks how he can prove himself to her. And she's like, follow through on your promises, even your silent ones, and looks pointedly at his hands on her body and the robe that he started to open. She is like provoking him into action, and now we have our cold read section.
Okay. I love her.
Yeah, no, she's real fun.
She's got balls that I would never have. All right. From behind, I grip her pussy and pull her ass against my crotch so she can feel how hard I am. Her raspy gasp brings me pleasure as I slide my finger across her clit again and again. Do you hate me right now? I ask her, toying with the little nub, making her entire body tremble against mine. More now than ever. Because I know how to bring you pleasure, I ask, my lips pressing against her ear. Yes, I slide 2 fingers inside her now. She lets out a low moan. You wish that I wasn't fucking you with my fingers right now? I start to pull them out, but she lets out a protest. No, I do. You do what? I ask, my cock so goddamn hard that it's pressing painfully against the zipper of my pants. Fuck me. I want you to fuck me. With my other hand, I smooth up the column of her neck and tilt her head back so I'm talking directly into her ear. So you hate me, but you want to fuck me. My thumb presses down on her clit and she lets out a strangled gasp. How close are you? Close, she whispers, her body shaking under my hold. So close. Good, I say, just before removing my hand from her pussy. What are you doing? Her confused gasp gives me great pleasure. Why should I give you an orgasm, Lottie? Why should I finish you off? Because you're a bastard if you don't. Her palms flatten against the wall as her head bends forward. Every muscle, every fiber of her being is tense. I work my fingers over her clit again, watching carefully as she tenses more, her back arching. I want to bring her to the edge, to the point where she's about to fall over. You already think I'm a bastard, so what does it matter? You think the worst of me, Lottie. If I let you come, you will still think the worst about me. But at least I'll know you can command my body, and isn't that what you want? Control? Nice.
Yeah. And this brings us to the hot plot spot.
Ooh, we're already there. Okay.
We're already there.
This is the hot plot spot. If you want to read this book with no spoilers, now is your chance to leave. Oh, you're sticking around. Do you remember your safe word? Good girl.
Okay, so they continue to argue while he plays with her pinned against the wall. And then he's like, I wasn't going to let you come. I was going to edge you until you were crying, begging for more. But your lack of trust or even regard for me is disconcerting. I'm a good man. You might not see it now, but you will. And then he gets her off.
Oh, okay. I like the banter. While they're hooking up, I think that's hilarious and great.
He tells her that his assistant is going to be rescheduling the meeting with Kelsey, and then he leaves.
Where does this take place? Like, what wall is she up against?
The dining room.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was like, is this in a bedroom, or is this just like...
No, like he invited her down for dinner.
Oh, it happens
and for some reason
after dinner.
At dinner, so they sit down. She comes down in a fucking robe with no panties.
This was right after the robe thing. Oh, it was that same scene.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes my cold reads have nothing to do with the thing I just said, so I was like confused.
Oh, I've set them up for you. We're in the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, he's again, I don't really understand the part where it's like, you texted me I was in the bath, so I didn't have time to put on pants. I just came down in a robe.
Sorry, no, you always have time to put on pants.
Yeah, always.
Like, I mean, there are a few exceptions to that rule. And it's literally, like, life or death emergencies of any kind. You don't have time. But, like, I don't care who's knocking at my door. No. I'm gonna put pants on first.
Or at the very least, in this case, fucking panties.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna wear the robe, like, what's the point? The thing is, it's one thing if she thought she just had to, like, run downstairs quickly for something. Like, oh, somebody rang the doorbell. I need to go. Yeah, that's where I'm like, no, this wasn't like you were just, a package arrived. You're going to sit down for dinner, and you're just choosing not to wear clothes.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I like her style. I respect it.
Yeah. So, the next day, he gets her off, then he tells her his assistant will be rescheduling the meeting with Kelsey, and he pieces out of there.
Yes.
As desperate as he was to fuck her, he keeps reminding himself, like, she's not for you.
You just got her off in the dining room.
Yeah, she could be for you.
What difference does it make at this point?
Yeah.
Like,
so
okay, hang on. A lot of times people are like, okay, but there's a line, right? We don't want to cross that line.
Well, he's aware that he crossed the line.
But is there one line? Like, is it not just one line?
I thought there was one line, but
like this guy seems to think
seems...
that maybe there's two lines, and they might be close together, but they're different.
I think he just keeps crossing the line and then being like, "Oh fuck," and trying to jump back,
jumping back over the line.
Yeah,
I don't think you can do that.
Like, I think the line is permanent in his mind; it doesn't break when you cross it.
Once you cross it, it disappears. It's gone.
Yeah. No, it's like one of those. It's you cross the marathon and break the ribbon. Like once the ribbon is gone,
it's gone. It doesn't get taped back together behind you.
Yeah. Mm-mm. No.
But like
not in Huxley's world.
In his world, maybe there's more than one.
Apparently.
Okay.
So the next day, she is reeling over what happened, desperately wants to fix things with her sister. A, because she needs to, but B, because she really needs to talk about the angry finger bang.
Totally. I get it.
Yeah.
Her best friend's a bitch. She can't talk to her about it. She's got to talk to her sister.
No, this is it. So she shows up to Kelsey's place with donuts and coffee. Kelsey is softened because Huxley's assistant has already called to reschedule.
Okay.
And also filled her in on what happened. Kelsey tells Lottie that Huxley's a good guy. She also points out that Lottie would never have done what she did yesterday when she was working for Angela. Like, she would never have been that unprofessional.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Lottie admits she's been really angry about the being fired, and she's taking it out on the wrong people, mostly Huxley. Mostly Huxley. But she'll be professional from here on out, so they get down to business.
Okay. Are you going to be a professional from here on out?
I don't know what is wrong with my mouth
Dude,
today.
I couldn't get through the dry read. I literally could not read. I had to take it one sentence at a time, which never happens.
Oh my god.
It's literally like I felt like I was teaching Grayson to read. Like, wait, why are you stopping?
Oh my god. I know that it's an important thing to do as a parent, but reading a book right now while the little one is trying to learn to read is testing my patience in a way that I've never been tested before.
I don't want to know.
It took us 45 minutes to get through The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like...
Do you have any memories of learning to read?
No.
Okay, I do. For some reason, I couldn't remember is. Like, I-S is. I don't know what word I thought it was, but I kept getting it wrong, and I kept saying, like, eyes. And my mom and dad would be like, what is this sentence? Like, why can't... Like, it doesn't make any sense. I just, like, couldn't get is. It was a hard one for me.
That's amazing.
My son seems to, know... Not... Obviously, he doesn't know how to read. He's, like, almost 4, and, like, we have not tried teaching him. But when we take him to swim class, like, there's these whiteboards on the walls that have, like, the instructor's names on them, and you're supposed to, like, go wait under the whiteboard with your instructor, and he can find his instructor's name. Which is
I mean, that's pretty... That's good. I mean, very accurate. Like, a little bit older, and they can, like, identification of, like, names and stuff. He'll start spelling his name.
Yeah, so he literally was, like, looking for Leora, and he's like, oh, there it is, Leora. And I was like, oh.
That's adorable.
That is pretty cool. He can't read, though.
Yeah, our big thing is that she's really good at context clues. So, like, 80% of the time, she just looks at the picture and then guesses the word she doesn't know. Mm-hmm. And the problem is she's, like, accurate a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know you didn't read that. And then she just, like, smiles at me. And I was like, this is not why we're this exercise.
That's what I was missing. Like, I couldn't figure out that the word was is, and I should have been able to just look at what was happening and see the next word and be like, oh, the cow is happy. Like, not the cow
but
is
you
happy.
You were trying to read the words.
I was so scared. I couldn't get it.
Oh my god. All right, so they get through a bunch of stuff. She does share angry finger bang. And it turns out Lottie, by the way, is actually, like, pretty good at this job.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
has some good ideas. They're putting things together. And then she gets a text from Huxley. They're going to meet Dave and Ellie for a Lamaze class.
They're way too early for this.
Yeah. They acknowledge that it's too early, but they're just interested in learning. And Dave and Ellie have invited them to go. So they're going to go with Dave and Ellie. The class is led by a woman named Heaven. And Ellie is already, like, happily bouncing on an exercise ball, looking like she was released from an insane asylum. they're really bad at this. They can't remember how pregnant they told Ellie and Dave they were.
God.
But it's okay because Ellie knows and reminds them.
Okay.
She's like, well, I know you're only 8 weeks, so blah, 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 blah.
Thank God.
And now they're on a yoga mat. Huxley's on top of Lottie, being told to pulse into her. Because this isn't just a class for pregnant couples, but also for once we're trying to get pregnant. And the instructor says, connecting to the moment of conception will bring you closer and closer to the little seedling growing inside of you. Remember that night, the way it felt. Was it passionate? Was it seductive? Was it involved? If you're currently in the phase of trying to get pregnant, think about connecting with your partner. Eye contact. Always eye contact.
Oh my God. This would never happen. This would never happen. The group of people that are actively trying to get pregnant, so much so that they are taking classes, does not want to be in a class with a bunch of people that are already fucking pregnant. And that is so uncomfortable. Oh my God.
Yeah. It keeps getting worse. Dave and Ellie are like model students. They're really into it. And then when the instructor comes up to them asking how they got pregnant, Lottie babbles and makes up a story about jumping him drunkenly after a night of catchphrase.
Okay, sorry, that sounds like, amazing.
I know. I was like, yeah, done.
That is the best game ever.
Catchphrase.
That is the best game ever. Okay.
And then Stark's like, well, of course, that's what's wrong. If you jumped him, you'd be on top. So she makes them change positions.
Oh no.
The second-hand embarrassment in this book, you're gonna die.
I'm not gonna be able to read it, am I?
Lottie goads him to try not to get an erection. He's like, I'm not a teenager, I'll be fine. So she tests him and tells him how hot she was last night and how she got herself off again with her vibrator thinking about him. Bam, insta-boner.
Obviously, okay.
But that's okay, because the teacher's moving on now.
Which one?
Yeah. The teacher's moving on now, and next to them, Dave stands up, his giant erection pointing out of his pants. And no shame, he wants the room to know he's the boner champion.
This episode is just going to be us cackling. Like, no real words.
I know. I mean...
This book is amazing. God. I haven't even read it. I'm so excited.
Sidebar, we're not going to read them, but like the text chains in all of her books are amazing. And the one between the brothers in this moment is so good.
Can I just say that because you wore mascara today and you are crying from laughing so hard?
I have like red eyes.
We got to get you that waterproof shit.
Oh my God. It's never a problem. This never happens. I need to go wash my face.
No one's ever made you laugh
Jesus
before.
Christ. Oh God.
You just do
never
not
wear
have
mascara.
a funny, and you also don't have a funny boss at work.
No.
Beep that.
I was going to say, I think we maybe ruined him. He listened to one episode and is like...
That's fine. Just beep the name. I'm not getting in trouble for this.
Okay. So... outside, they run into Angela, who in truly worst human ever style says she's hurt that Lottie didn't share her engagement with her.
Jesus Christ.
And then has the audacity to be like, we miss you at the company, and now that you're dating Huxley Kane, maybe we can find a way to work together again.
Oh my God. Suck a dick that is just like made of razor blades. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
So, Huxley realizes he's never actually seen Lottie truly angry. Like, the anger he thinks he'd seen from her before, nothing compared to what he sees right now. So he intervenes and gets them the fuck out of there.
Okay.
And that night at dinner, Lottie's like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Like, I need a timeline. She'd agreed to this because he seemed like someone she could get along with. But all they seem to do is aggravate each other. He doesn't seem interested in getting to know her at all. And Huxley suggests that they try to get to know each other. Let's do 2 questions during the day and 2 questions at dinner. So they start. He shares why the Dave-Tony deal is so important, which isn't really, I mean, it's just like he wants to prove to his brothers that he can do it. Like, it's a weird, I don't really understand the fascination with this deal.
Like, it wasn't important at the beginning, but then when he was told he couldn't, now it's important.
I think so. Okay. She tells him why she doesn't want to tell her mom and Jeff about Angela, like doesn't want the I told you so's. Their second questions are lighter. He asks her about concerts, and she's like, my dream would be to see Fleetwood Mac in concert, which I just thought was weird.
That is so weird.
Yeah. The next day, they do their questions during the day via text, and he seems to like loosen up more. But then at dinner, things are tense again. So she busts out question time. And when he says, like, he doesn't have time to take his dream vacation to Alaska, she's like, you have more money than you could ever spend. Like, why are you working so hard? And he's like, well, it's for all the people that work for me. Until I can find someone I'd feel comfortable delegating to, I'm going to keep working hard so they're all employed. Which, again,
that's beautiful.
Is like a good reason for being a workaholic. Back to the text questions the next day. Things are getting more personal. Have they ever been in love? She reveals she hasn't. And the guys she's dated were lackluster. He's the only person other than herself that's ever made her come. Well, she just offers up.
That seems to be a theme in these books.
Yeah. And he follows up asking, like, what's the hardest she's ever made herself come? And she's like, the night after you got me off in the hallway, like replaying that memory with my vibrator. She asks him, what's the naughtiest thing you've ever done? And he's like, naughty in my eyes probably isn't naughty in someone else's. I've fucked women in some pretty weird places, but that's just fucking. Naughty to me means crossing a line that probably shouldn't be crossed, something forbidden. So the naughtiest thing I've ever done was undoing your robe and slipping my fingers inside your sweet cunt.
Okay.
Yeah. He follows that up with, I crossed a line that night. You're forbidden, off limits, part of a business deal, and I lost control. I allowed myself to give in to temptation. Be happy I only touched your pussy, because if I'd had it my way, that robe wouldn't have stayed on. I have a meeting. I'll see you at dinner.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yep. This is all like via text.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, bye.
Yeah. So, at that night at dinner, Lottie kind of reveals that the Angela shit is taking up a lot of real estate, and he's like, I can help you with that. He brings her over, puts her on the table in front of him, pushes her to tell him if she wants this, wants him to use his mouth on her to clear her mind. She's like, yes, please. During it, she admits that she's been using her toys every night thinking about him. And he's like, why haven't I heard you? And she's like, well, I've been keeping it quiet. He's like, don't. If you play with yourself at night, I want to fucking hear it. I want to know you're satisfied.
What about his staff? This is going to be so awkward for the staff.
The staff seems to leave before, like, they serve dinner and then leave. Okay. So by the time dinner's happening, the staff are gone.
Wait, no, hang on. If the staff leave after dinner, they didn't...
No, they serve dinner and then leave, like, while they're eating dinner.
Yeah, so whatever. If the staff leave during dinner, they wouldn't have needed to lie about her having a separate bedroom. Oh, no, because then cleaning the sheets and stuff. Okay, never mind. I answered my own question. It's fine.
Okay.
I got this.
We got there. It's good. Anyways, after eating her out like it's his fucking job, he gets up and leaves. As much as Lottie wants to return the favor, she's like, from what I know of him, if he'd wanted me to suck his cock, he would have asked.
Also, this guy just seems to, like, leave whenever. Like, any situation, he's just like, and this is my exit. And it's never an appropriate exit.
No, he doesn't seem to be able to, like, have a conversation. It's like, here's an orgasm, I have to run.
He's scheduled. Orgasm at noon, meeting at 12:15.
I'll see you at dinner. Bye.
Yeah, dinner's at 7.
The next day, Huxley realizes that taking that taste was dangerous. He just wants her now more than ever. They're coming in later that day to pitch them. Like, they're coming into the office to pitch them. This is their rescheduled meeting. But he's already done his research on Kelsey, and he knows they're going to be hiring them. But he thinks the practice would be good for Kelsey and a confidence boost for Lottie. So he's going to have them pitch anyway. They're all three of them waiting in the lobby when Kelsey and Lottie arrive at the same time as Dave Toney, who has dropped by to talk about the deal with Huxley.
Oh, God.
Lottie, seeing Dave there, immediately heads over, kisses Huxley to keep up appearances, but the kiss just knocks him out. Mm-hmm. And when she realizes Dave's there to meet, she assumes that means he's going to push the pitch. But Huxley shocks them all by telling Dave he's got a prior meeting, and they'll have to set something up for another time. He even tells Dave about Kelsey and Lottie's business, because Dave's like, you make your fiancé pitch to you?
He's like, yes, everyone has to pay.
He's like, she wouldn't have it any other way. It's a real, like, it's a business. And
okay.
they kill it at the meeting, obviously. And then they confirm they're getting a contract with Kane Enterprises. Kelsey and Lottie go out to have drinks to celebrate. That night, she's not home for dinner. She comes to see Huxley and thank him for the sacrifice, not blowing them off for her meeting with Dave. She offers to thank him properly with a blowjob, and he refuses. He doesn't want her to do anything out of some, like, misplaced gratitude. She calls him out for shutting down, and when she tries to ask why, saying this is one of her dinner questions, he's like, you missed dinner, so you forfeited those questions.
Oh my God.
So she's mad, but she needs help because Kelsey had done up the dress for her. She can't undo it. So he unzips her dress, sees her ass and her lovely panties, so she leaves, heads into her room, but leaving her door wide open and heads into the shower.
Here we go.
He's following her into her room when she parades back out of the bathroom naked, grabs the suction cup dildo from her bedside table, back into the bathroom, and he's literally entranced. He follows, watches her suction it to the wall, put on a little show getting wet, and then backs herself onto it, fucking herself from behind. While moaning his name. Like, literally talking to him as if he's fucking her.
Not there.
Yeah. And so he strips, gets into the shower where she grabs his cock and is like, this is what I wanted for dessert.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She goes down on him while continuing to work herself on the dildo, which is just like excellent multitasking.
That is really
very impressive.
I don't understand. How high on the wall is this dildo? Like, is she bent over at a 90 degree? Like, or is she lower? Idea.
Well, she's sucking him off, so she has to be mostly 90 degrees.
But the thing is stuck to the wall, so, like, unless his hips come up to, like, where she is at 90 degrees.
I don't know.
We need that diagram. This is where the diagrams come in.
Yes! This is where we need our diagrams. Oh, God. After he comes, he, like, lays her out on the bench in the shower, finishes her off with his mouth, and then he's like, have a great night, and pieces out again.
What is wrong with this guy?
Oh regretting it from his own room, she texts him, trying to get him to come back to the room and fuck her. He turns it down, but then they go back to their questions, and she, like, asks what he likes about himself, she shares what she does, asks what he likes about her, and he says she's fearless. And all of a sudden, she's at the door. She wants to see him to make sure he's telling the truth. She tells him that the thing she likes about him is the helping heart that he tries so hard to hide from the world. And she leaves. Huxley texts his brothers. They're right. He's fucked. Like, what am I supposed to do now? And they're like, ask her on a date, dumbass.
Yeah, well, this is very simple.
Yeah. The next morning, Huxley's out on a run, and he now gives his staff the weekends off now that Lottie's around, so Lottie has the house to herself. She decides to do a little naked sunbathing in the pool, as you do. He gets back and is like, what the hell are you doing? And she invites him to join her. He seems frozen, so she swims over, takes his shoes and socks off, checks his pockets for his wallet and phone, and then guides him into the water with her. And she asks him, like get cuddled up on the pool float. And she's like, what's the scrunchy face about? And he's like, I don't want any...
He's wearing a bathing suit?
He's wearing running shorts.
Oh, okay. So he's not naked.
No, just her. And she's like, what's the thing about it? He's like, I don't want anyone else to see you naked. And she jokes that she didn't remember her body being on the contract. And he grabs her nipple, pinches real hard, and is like, did I not have my mouth on your pussy last night? That means I laid claim to you. This body is mine. And then they just go back to chatting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess she really needed to read the fine print on that one.
She admits she doesn't hate him, and then she falls asleep. She wakes up later. He's carrying her inside. Didn't want her to get sunburned. He's tucking her into her bed. She's like, can I borrow a t-shirt? Like, I just want to wear something oversized and comfy, and you didn't let me bring any of my clothes. They decide to eat, and so Lottie teaches Huxley how to make a grilled cheese. Because despite growing up middle class, he doesn't know how to cook for himself.
No, I'm sorry. No,
I know.
I'm not buying that.
I know.
A grilled cheese is not cooking, although I do pretend it is, because I make it for my son At least once a week.
Yeah.
Usually twice. Okay.
Yeah. The next day, while she's working in her room, he comes to get her. It's raining, and he remembered that she wanted a place where she could lay in the rain with no judgment, and takes her up to this small rooftop patio she didn't even know existed in the house. There isn't anything there except for a teak floor. She lays there and invites him to join her. They get close, mostly naked, dry humping, while he admits he wants her to be happy and doesn't want her to feel trapped. They get off, but he doesn't kiss her. And then they head inside and part ways. And she's upset that he's pulling away. And she's like, oh, I'm starting to have feelings for him. And like, obviously, he doesn't have feelings for me. The next day, she goes breast pump shopping with Ellie. Because Ellie's invited her to go breast pump shopping.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Waiting for her to arrive, she's talking to Kelsey on the phone. She's feeling guilty about lying to Ellie. And when Kelsey's like, well, just tell her the truth, Lottie's like, but he would lose the deal for sure. Like, I can't do that. And then she tells Kelsey about the no kissing thing. She's like, is he Vivianing me?
Is he what?
Vivianing me. Like Vivian from Pretty Woman. No kissing.
Oh my God, no kissing.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
So good. Although darker than I ever remember it. Like when I think about it and then I go back and watch it, I was like, oh, it's much darker than I think about when I remember it.
Well, like George Costanza's character.
Trying to rape. I mean,
true asshole.
Yeah. But also, like, her friends are, like, dying and overdosing. Like, there's just, like, a lot happening.
Yeah.
It's a lot darker than I...
Yeah. Still so good.
Anyways, Ellie arrives at the store, and it's as weird as the Lamaze class. There's a wall of different size and shaped breasts, all of which produce liquid, so you can test the different pumps. I need you to tell me this isn't real.
This when I needed a breast pump? No, it's not real. Are you kidding? I bought mine in the hospital from the hospital store.
Oh my God.
Where they sold exactly one kind of breast pump.
Yeah, this store has many, many, many kinds. And they discuss it and the size of Lottie's nipples. And then Ellie's like, let's just see mine, and busts her boobs out.
Okay, I guess I shouldn't say it doesn't exist. It might exist. It doesn't exist in my world.
Yeah.
I also have a pretty hilarious story about breast pumps. I feel like I have a lot of weird stories on this podcast, but when we got ours from the hospital, whatever, I had Eli, like, set it up.
Okay.
And I was like, it comes with different sizes, like, phalanges, 4 different size nipples.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is the size you're going to use. Because that, I checked for myself, and I was like, this is the one. He's like, okay. Like, you know, a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, man, like, one of these suctions, like, is just not working. One of them, great. But after, I would have to, like, switch it, and I shouldn't have to do that. Like, one of the pumps, like, the suction just, like, was not working. So I emailed the company, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. The left side of the machine just never works. So I end up switching the right one. And they send me, like, a whole new set of, like, there's, like, all these attachment pieces with the flange and the bottom, whatever. And that's when I realized that Eli had put the wrong size phalange on that side. So when they say that that's important, it's really, really fucking important.
Yeah.
And now I have a whole second set of everything for no reason. So
that's amazing.
If you're using a breast pump, be sure to double check your measurements and make sure you're using the right size.
Excellent. Good to know. PSA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When Huxley finds Lottie at home later, saying Dave called and Ellie was raving about their morning, and Lottie's like, I touched Ellie's boob and I got sprayed in the face by a tit on the tit wall. Like, this was a bad day. And he commiserates, and then he gives her a gift, a vintage Fleetwood Mac tour t-shirt. He asks if she has plans today. He wants to take her somewhere. He's nervous, and she thinks he might be asking her out, and despite the weird no kissing thing. And so she's very Lottie. She's like, does this mean like a date? And he's like, yeah, on a date. And then he gives her...
Does the Fleetwood Mac t-shirt end up being her sleeping shirt?
No, he gives her an envelope, and inside are concert tickets. And she's floored because they're real tickets. She thought, like, he just, like, done the cute thing of, like, and then he was going to put music on in the backyard. But no. And then she realized the mistake he's made. This show isn't in LA. It's in Portland. And he's like,
so now they're going to take a
I
private
know.
jet.
Our private jet is fueled up and ready to take us. She darts off to get ready and then is upset because she's like, I don't have any of my jean shorts, which would be perfect with this cool vintage tee. And he's like, your clothes are also now in the closet. Like, I got your clothes.
Aw, there we go.
Yeah. They play hangman on the plane to distract Lottie, who's a nervous flyer since she doesn't really done it much. And she guesses his first word without a single letter, pussy. So they play a little bit of dirty word hangman. At the concert, he admits that he likes her. He knows that this is crossing a line in terms of their agreement, but she's different than anything he was prepared for. She tells him that she likes him too and was worried he didn't, and maybe thought of her as a plaything. He's like, why the fuck would you think that? She's like, because you didn't kiss me when we were intimate. And he's like, because I knew if I did, I wouldn't be able to stop. And honestly, I wasn't sure you even wanted me to kiss you. And she's like, I don't think I've ever wanted something as much as I want you to kiss me. You've commanded my body, Huxley. Now I want you to command my mouth.
Okay.
So they kiss, then the concert starts. They have an amazing time. What's interesting, there's a note, the concert starts and it just starts. And he's like, what, no opening band? And I was like, I do love that about a Fleetwood Mac concert. Like, they know their audience. They're not interested in watching somebody else for an hour. Like, no, just Monday morning, so immediately. Yeah.
Okay.
On the way home on the plane, they make use of the plane's bed and get down. And it's very hot.
Join the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
Referencing a book you already did.
I know. Miles high. Isn't that what they say in the book?
I said mile. Although it should be miles. You're right.
I love that Lottie's at FMC with like a super dirty mouth. I feel like in these books, it's usually like the MMC that's a dirty talker. And in this one, it's genuinely both of them. Like, they're both have really, really dirty mouths.
I feel like that's why this is funny.
Yeah.
Like, some of the humor is just from that.
100%. They host a little family barbecue with his brothers and her sister and Mama and Jeff. And she's like weirdly nervous to meet his brothers now that she's dating her fake fiance. They have made up for lost time and they have fucked in every conceivable spot inside and outside of the house. When they sit down, he whispers that her mom is sitting in the exact spot where she came so hard she squirted.
That is so awkward.
I know.
Don't point that out.
The best is, obviously she shared that story with Kelsey because Kelsey looks over and gets uncomfortable. Over dinner, we find out that Huxley has called the beautification committee who awards people for their landscaping. And Jeff's always wanted to be a part of this, like, neighborhood beautification thing. But their house isn't within the designation, so he's always been left out. It's been a thing that, like, he takes a lot of pride in it and the landscaping and works really hard. And they receive this letter complimenting it. And it turns out that Huxley made a call. And he doesn't want to take praise for it. He's like, it's nothing. It was small. And she's just like, you did something out of the goodness of your heart that made someone I love incredibly happy. Like, it's not a small thing. And you did it weeks ago when we were still, like, arguing and hated each other.
That's cute.
They have another outing with Dave and Ellie, who've invited them.
How are they still pretending to be pregnant?
Yeah, they've invited them to a newborn class.
Oh
They're
God.
both like, it feels really weird continuing to lie to them. And she's like, what do you think Dave will do when he finds out? And Huxley's like, I don't think it'll go well. This class is also led by Heaven from the Crazy Lamaze class.
Oh my God. Okay.
And has them all paired with real, like, creepy real life baby dolls. Like the ones that, look. And Huxley and Lottie get the last baby, a literal one-eyed monster named Judith.
Oh my God.
She's what nightmares are made of. The minute they switch them on, she starts wailing and then spews a sour milk fluid at them. And they end up getting kicked out of the class, covered in fake baby vomit and fake baby shit, because Lottie swears at the fake baby.
All right. Well, if you don't get to be a mom because you do that,
yeah,
I might get my license revoked.
Yeah. Oh, they wait for Dave and Ellie. They go to lunch with them. Dave tells Huxley he's ready to talk about the deal and is setting up time with the assistants for next week. And Lottie's like, this means the arrangement's coming to an end. And she's not sure what that means. She starts to panic. Their contract with Kane Enterprises means Lottie's getting paid now. So she opens up Zillow on her phone and starts looking for apartments. And Huxley sees it and is super pissed. He asks if she's leaving, and she's like, I assumed that we would still date, but I don't want to impose. Like, I don't want to assume I'm, like, in your house. And he goes, Lottie, trust me when I say you're not imposing. I want you in my house, in my room, in my bed. I want you on my couch, holding my hand while watching a show you forced me to reluctantly binge. I want you in my pool, skinny dipping like you enjoy so much. I want you on my roof, feeling the rain bounce off you during a storm. I want you at my dining room table, eating dinner next to me, giving me a hard time for whatever reason you come up with that day. She jokes that he sounds attached, and he's like, I'm very attached to you, Lottie. I don't know how you did it, but I'm addicted. You're not going anywhere. So, the next day at the office, they had a little morning shower fun where Lottie showed him that she could get him off in 30 seconds by using a vibrator on his balls.
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then a colleague shows up to meet with Huxley and is like, I guess congratulations are in order, or should I say fake congratulations? This guy's heard from Dave Toney that Huxley is faking an engagement and that he'd been clueless that it was fake until his fiancée Ellie had told him. Huxley and his brothers freak out and they think Lottie must have said something to Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the house, Lottie's getting dressed up because she's planning on telling Huxley that she loves him. But he arrives and has a big ball of anger and accuses her of telling Ellie. And she's devastated. She's a loyal person. She would never have told someone their secret. And the fact that he's asking her is insulting. She storms up to her room, grabs her things, calls Kelsey to come get her. Huxley starts to soften. He's like, I heard Ellie told him, what was I supposed to think? And she's like, you were supposed to approach me with a problem, not accuse me. Like, you know what happened with me and Angela, who ripped away everything, like, ruined me in a business thing. Like, the fact that you think I would do anything to jeopardize this business deal for you in this way. I might not have liked you at the beginning, but I never would have stooped as low as to ruin a deal that you were working on. She's like, I was going to tell you my feelings for you tonight, but instead of doing that, you made accusations, tore apart the trust we built, and you broke my heart. And then she gets in the car and leaves before he can say anything else. Kelsey commiserates, but is like, I know he has feelings for you. Like, you could see it when he was chasing after you. Everyone makes mistakes. He must have just freaked out and reacted. And Lottie's like, that's the problem. His gut reaction was to not trust me. Their relationship was founded on a lie of his, and the contracts he wrote to cover them up. How was this ever going to have worked? Like, I was an idiot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next morning, after sleeping on the pillows on the floor that were her bed in Kelsey's apartment, Lottie wakes up to Huxley at the door. Kelsey, who is unable to handle awkward situations, lets him in and pieces out to the shower. She's like, he's giving me a puppy dog face. I don't know how to deal with this. Bye.
Good luck.
Yeah. He's brought her some of her things, which she finds annoyingly thoughtful. He apologizes profusely. He was so scared he fucked everything up for his brothers and took those fears out on her instead of leaning on her. He's got to go into the office to do damage control, but he needed to see her, and he begs her to have dinner with him. And she nods, and he leaves. Like, she can't talk to him, but she sort of agrees. And at the office, he meets with Dave and comes clean. Dave admits he didn't think Ellie was right at first. She clocked it at the first dinner, how stiff they were with each other. But then they went to the Lamaze class, and he just kept pushing. Ellie kept coming up with more and more outrageous things to drag them to.
This is so good.
And Dave's like, I wanted to see how far you go. Just how unethical was Huxley Kane? He's like, you're the most uptight person I know. But he could see this connection he had with Lottie, and he wanted to see if something would come of it, and it has, right? He's like, after the last outing, I'm pretty sure you're in love with her. And he and Ellie were betting on who would cave first.
Oh, that is really funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So all of these insane things were absolutely 1000% on purpose.
I love that. So, like, really the people pulling up the snacks was Ellie and Dave.
Yeah. 100%.
I love it. Okay, great. So nobody actually told the secret, right? Ellie just clocked it?
Yeah. Like, right away. And then was like, also, she knows, like, fuck all about Georgia. Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Huxley admits it was a really stupid thing to do. He'd been trying to prove to his brothers that he could get the deal and be relatable, and now not only has he fucked that up, but he's lost Lottie. Mm-hmm. Dave is shocked. Huxley tells him everything, and Dave asks him right now, if you had to choose Lottie or the deal, what would you pick? And Huxley's like, Lottie, no question. And Dave's like, okay, well, we have a deal. Despite everything, he's like watching Huxley grow through all of this and genuinely considers him a friend. He needs to go grovel because Ellie would really like to have them all over for a celebratory dinner and actually be friends with them.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. He leaves. Huxley tells his brothers the good news, and he has an idea how to fix things. He leaves the office early. He's got some work to do before tonight. In the car on the way over, Lottie's talking to Kelsey, and she's really uncertain if she's doing the right thing. Kelsey's like, hear him out. That's what you do when you love someone. You're open to forgiveness. Just like Kelsey forgave her not that long ago when Lottie ran her mouth off without thinking.
Okay.
She's a mess, like couldn't stop crying long enough to put makeup on. Sort of like me. Except not crying for the same reasons.
You did put makeup on.
Yeah. And Kelsey tells her, be a mess in front of him. You have this beautiful heart. It's okay to share it.
Yeah.
She pulls up. He offers her his hand to help her out, and she's not ready for physical contact. They go to the dining room where he's set up. He says he knows he fucked up, and they need to go back to the beginning. He pulls out their original contract, walks over, and drops it in a paper shredder. They need to start fresh. And she panics and is, like, weirdly upset that he's destroying the thing that brought them together, and also has a moment of, like, does this mean I have to pay my student loans back?
That's where my head went first. I was like, oh my god, he's shredding the only, like, legal document. Okay.
Yeah. And she freaks out and just goes to leave. And he pins her against the wall, and she's like, I don't want to hear it. He's like, if you didn't want to be here, you would never have gotten in the car. I know you, Lottie. I know you love me. She denies it. He presses harder. He's like, don't you dare fucking lie to me. You don't lose feelings like that overnight. Now, is that how you want to have this conversation with me possessing you? Because I'd rather be civil with you and not revert to our old ways of communication. But if I need to, I'll hold you here all night until you listen. So, like, literally pinning her against the same wall where he finger banged her the first time.
Okay.
He tells her that he loves her and presents her with their new contract, one that he has hastily written up himself with some questionable legal language. And it includes... 1. After careful thought and consideration, Lottie agrees to forgive Huxley for being a massive ass.
Okay.
2. After a solid makeup session that will include whatever Lottie wants, Lottie will be required to permanently move in with Huxley and into his bedroom where he's already made space for her clothes. She clarifies, is this her clothes or the personal items he picked out? He's like, whatever you want. She's like, I'd like a mixture of both.
Is there, like, an option that, like, if they break up, she is no longer required to live there?
They don't get into that.
I feel like
no.
that's really important.
It is. Number 3, Lottie will drop all previous roles of fake fiancé and fake pregnant woman.
Okay.
Huxley realizes what a bad idea this was and has already cleared the air with Dave and wants Lottie to live her best life free of any fake premises.
Okay.
4, even with the previous contract being destroyed, Huxley is still indebted to Lottie and therefore will attend any social events to help stick it to her old boss, but this time prefers to act as her real fiancé. He rushes straight past that without giving her a chance to respond.
Oh, okay.
5, Lottie realizes Huxley was a shell of a man without her, and he needs her in his life as a permanent fixture. 6, Lottie will follow Huxley to the rooftop. On the roof, he set up lounge chairs with rose petals and fake candles, pulls out a ring box and presents her with a more antique-style, edgier, much more Lottie-style engagement ring, and asks her to accept the contract and be his wife. And when she says yes, he jokes that she snagged herself a rich husband after all, and she's like, I think it was the braids. Like, it was definitely the braids.
I like that.
We get an epilogue where they go to the reunion.
Okay.
Which is being held, per the book, at the Beverly Hillshire Hotel. And he's like, it's ironic, given the Pretty Woman vibes their early relationship. That hotel is called the Beverly Wilshire. Like, I don't know if this is a legal thing where they couldn't say it in the book.
It's probably a legal thing.
And I know I'm focusing on the wrong details, but it bumps me every time. Like, I was like, that's not the name of it.
I love that you know the real name, though. Or did you Google it?
Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
I've been there. It's fine.
I've been there.
And they see Angela, who's there with her new boyfriend, who can't seem to keep his eyes off other women's asses.
Hang on, not Lottie's ex-boyfriend?
No, she says he was boring, but obviously he left her. And when they tell her they're going to do a little destination wedding in Tulum, she's like, great, like, when should I get my ticket? And Lottie's like, no, we're good getting married without you. And so sorry to hear that you lost 2 of your major sponsors. I know how hard I always had to work to keep those accounts happy, but it's okay, at least you're saving money with mediocre employees.
Yes, girl.
And then they decide to ditch the reunion and fly to Portland for a burger.
Same.
As you do.
Yeah, that's what I did after my 10-year reunion.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that is the end of A Not So Meet Cute.
I'm definitely going to read that book. That was hysterical. How long were they together before he actually proposed?
Not long.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking a couple of weeks. Like, the whole thing takes place in, like, I think 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Like, it's very
insane.
Short.
That is insane. I could have lived without that, I think. Like, where they just end the book with them just, like, in a relationship and, like, happily in a relationship.
Yeah. But at this point, they were already fake engaged, so they may as well just, like, go all the way.
That's not how that works.
I know.
Just because you're fake engaged, we've fake been in a relationship for 15 years. You haven't. You don't know anything about each other.
I know. It's true, but most fake marriages end up with them staying real married, so
Are you talking about in real life or in books?
Book accurate. How many fake marriages do you know in real life?
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't know any.
Obviously, I meant in books.
Okay, but, like, that's also weird.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was about to say I like my books to be more realistic.
No, we know the kind of books you like. No, you don't.
I really don't want them to be more realistic.
No. So the next book is JP, the middle brother.
Okay.
And Kelsey.
Oh. This happens a lot.
Yeah. And it's called Not So Meant to Be.
Okay.
And then the third book is Breaker. But it's his, like, longtime best friend.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a friends to lovers.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's very cute. It's just, they're really funny.
Is her writing style always funny?
Yeah.
Like, should I get into her stuff more? Because that was a fucking holler and a half.
I mean, her more recent stuff, honestly, like, she has a hockey series called The Vancouver Agitators.
Oh, I know that series.
And
it comes up on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, that's Meghan Quinn.
Oh, okay.
In the first one, this, like, girl is taking a trip in the Rockies to, like, go on a quest basically for her dead mom. And her car gets stuck in the mud, and she stumbles on a cabin full of professional hockey players, and they have to convince each other that they're not murderers.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's great. Like, all of them, there's a fake dating one, like an age gap one. Oh my god, it's so good.
Vancouver
They're so
Agitators.
good.
Okay. I this is all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Also, how weird is it that we lived through the one-day TikTok ban?
And we didn't really, because we're in Canada, so it never got banned for us.
Like, the day before it got banned, like, everyone on my TikTok scroll, whatever you call that, algorithm, was, like, doing their goodbyes. And, like, it was, like, really sad. It was so somber. There's one guy that I follow named Rod, and he just does, like, millennial, like, music throwbacks. And, like, he's really, really funny. And his goodbye was just him, like, basically, like, kind of staring at the camera as Vitamin C's graduation song played. Like, as we go
Dude,
on,
that is a missed opportunity, because he should have played Closing Time.
Okay, but hang on.
Like,
then he said his caption was like, all right, millennials, here we go again. Let's do it upright. Use my comment section like a yearbook and, like, say your goodbyes. And the comments were so fucking funny, because everyone was like, I'm gonna miss you, have an awesome summer, like, can't wait to see you again in September. Like, it was just, it was like, man, such good times in Miss Miller's English class, like, hopefully we get to jam again soon. Like, it was so good.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like, everyone really, like,
that's amazing,
bought into it, so it was good. Closing Time is
that's excellent. I saw one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This comedian who's like, he's like a teacher, and he's gay, and he's like, I need to let you in on my secret now that this app is closing. Like, I've been straight the whole time, bitches.
Well, that's because all the influencers were, like, coming clean. Did you see this?
Yeah.
I'm like, how dumb are you?
But none of them, were they really coming clean?
I don't know.
I thought they were all jokes.
I think, like, one or two of them were real, and then all the other ones started doing them as jokes.
Okay.
But, like, I don't follow enough or even really pay attention enough to TikTok famous people, so I don't know which ones were, like, the fake ones. But apparently there was some influencer that had, like, a get ready with me routine or something that was, like, 16 steps or something, and she is one of the ones that came clean first, and hers was, like, real. She was like, yeah, I don't do any of this stuff. It's all fake. And people were legitimately pissed. And I'm sitting there going, guys, like, I can barely find time to wash my face. Like, and I mean that genuinely. I don't wash my face every day. I do if I'm wearing makeup, but as you can tell, I don't wear makeup every day. So yeah, like, whoever thought these people were, like, really doing this, like, 15-step face routine every single day, that's crazy. But then there was, like, apparently there's, like, an ice influencer. Have you heard of this? This girl just, like, bought, like, a bunch of different silicone shapes, like ice molds, and makes a bunch of ice and puts them in her freezer in, like, cool containers. And everyone loves her. And she, like, quote unquote, came clean and was like, I don't like ice. like I like my water room temperature.
Oh my God, that has to be a joke.
I
like,
think
that has
that
to be
was
satire.
a joke. But her entire Instagram page, TikTok page was like, she makes ice.
That's so funny. My favorite reaction to it coming back was Tessa Bailey was like, I now fully understand what you guys say when you say third act breakups are messy and unnecessary. Let's not do this again.
Thank you. Thank you, Tessa Bailey. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. That was, like, the weirdest 24 hours.
It was a very weird 24 hours. Yeah.
As
we're being like, I guess we're going here now.
I also, like, wasn't going to be pissed about getting more Canadian content. Like, I was kind of excited about it, and then I didn't even go on it in the 24 hours that Americans weren't allowed to use it, so missed my opportunity there.
I just kept seeing Instagrams of people showing us the screen capture of TikTok not being available.
Oh, yeah, so many. And also, it was supposed to kick in at midnight or something, and some people were getting it at, like, 8:30 p.m., like, the day before. So they were so mad. I was like, yeah, they gypped you, like, 4 hours. That sucks. It came back the next day, like, it's not a big deal, but wild. We're living in the wild times.
We are living in the wild times. All right. Do you have a preview for us for next week?
All right, Alexis. Close your eyes and picture it. You are a successful young author, and you're starting to settle into your grandmother's sprawling Gothic mansion that she left to you, when your world starts taking a very weird and dark turn. Someone keeps breaking into your mansion and leaving you roses. But in the words of Glinda, is he a good stalker or a bad stalker? On the one hand, he helps you try to figure out the details of your grandmother's murder. But on the other hand, well, let's just say he's a bad guy. We're blurring just about all the lines with this one. Make sure you're buckled in. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh my God, I'm really excited.
I'm going back to my roots. We're doing a dark romance. I'm real excited about it. That's all I can say.
So tune in next week as we dive deeper into our TBR list.
From a collection of dildos to a fake pregnancy, it'll always be served
smutty side up. This week I read A Not So Meet Cute by Meghan Quinn, published by Bloom Books, copyright 2021 Meghan Quinn. The audiobook is produced by Audibly Addicted Productions and is narrated by Ava Erickson and Aaron Shedlock. And as always, special thanks to Wayne Davis for the Hot Plot Spot intro.